Welcome to your favorite Tennessee Titans podcast, Tennessee Titans Weekly. Jacques.
Halt.
What's up, folks? Good morning, good afternoon, whatever time it is your way. As you all know, the 53-man roster is being set as we speak. There's pretty much the team is set. We're going right into it, man. Hey, we're gonna go over the roster, man. We got a lot of questions, a lot of things we're gonna discuss. Jacques, we here, bro. 53, we here, bro.
Yes, sir. 53-man roster, man. We got the final roster for the 2024 season. So hey, we getting ready. Let's chop it up. Let's talk about it, man. There's some surprises, and there's non-surprises that happen with those cuts too. So we definitely gonna have a good discussion today.
Yep.
Right. Hey. So, do you don't happen to have the 53-man pulled up, do you?
No.
Okay. Well, we're just gonna get into it.
Okay.
Man, how do you feel about it? And also, before I continue, there will be live updates as I'm going through as well, just seeing different things, news and everything of people that made the roster, that didn't make the roster. So, just one thing to note: David Martin Robinson did make the roster, so he did make the 53. And Julius Chestnut also made the 53. So just a bit of news if you didn't know. Hey, now you know. So Hulk, how do you feel about the initial 53-man roster that's been formed by Mr. Ran Carthon?
Well, I think, man, I'm going to tell you this. I think the 53-man roster that we have right now, dude, is perfect. I think the players that we end up cutting were the players that needed to be cut. And if you look here at the players that were cut, I don't have the total 53-man roster because it's being updated as we speak. But we do have the list of those that's been cut. So you look at Brian Dooley, Tay Gowan, Michael Judd, like who are these guys, right? Thomas Rush. And then you look at Trayshawn Harrison, who had been here. So these guys here, hey, I understand that. But I think the biggest cuts have been these right here. And I'm going to move myself here so y'all can see the screen. So if you look at some of the to the Green Bay, put that down because that's a roster change. We'll talk more about that. But look at these cuts. Caleb Farley, Mason Kinsey. We're going to add Hassan Haskins, who's not on this list. Anthony Kendall, Isaiah Eaton, Jabari Small, Bohannon, Keaton Ellis, Matthew Jackson, Ty Zedner, Russian. I mean, these aren't folks that to me were a big challenge to the roster. Two things, for a year. The disappointing piece is Caleb Farley, a first-round, are guys that, that right now should be on the 53-man roster. When you look at Will Levis and Mason Rudolph, again, Malik Willis is gone now, so the quarterback 3 conversation can now end. He's going to Green Bay, better situation for him to be a QB2. But now we have 2 quarterbacks. You look at Tony Pollard and Tajay Spears and Julius Chestnut. That's your 3 running backs. You look at Calvin Ridley, D. Hawk, Tyler Boyd, Traylon Burks, Nick Westbrook-Akina, Jaquan Jackson. Right now, Kyle Phillips is still on the roster right now. So I don't know if they're going to carry him over. But, we did cut Bryce Oliver, Mason Kinsey. Kearis Jackson's still on the roster, too. So I think Jaquan Jackson took over Mason Kinsey's spot. You got Josh Wiley, Chig. You got David Martin Robinson and Nick Burnett at the tight ends. And I think the linemen are pretty much set. They did cut Simmons. But you do have Jalen Duncan still on the roster. You got Daniel Brunskill. You still got a lot of guys that's still on the roster here on our team. So I'm not naming names that we should be shocked. We should be like, oh, my gosh, we cut him, right? That's even on offense. Defense, you still got the same guys. Right now there hasn't been anyone that's been cut that I've been like, well, I don't know about that, right? I mean, Ellis and Jackson, those safeties, they shouldn't be here. You know what I mean? So I really like our top 53. I think we're ready to rock and roll. This roster is amazing. This roster has improved. So I'm happy with the 53. There's certain players that are still on the roster, like Trey Avery. There's a few more updates that's going to happen. But right now, I'm good, Jacques. I'm good. We got the players that play well in the preseason. We got guys that are veterans. We got guys that were good here last year. I'm good with the 53. Welcome, Tennessee. Let's get this season started, man. What about you, Jacques?
For sure. And I'm just getting updates, man, which is crazy. So it looks like Paul Kaharski, shout out to Paul Kaharski. He's saying that Thomas Cordier, he's made the 53-man roster. per sources. So it's a lot of conflicting stuff that's still going on. So we'll see. But I mean, again, when I look at the cuts that happen, I'm not surprised it's Caleb Farley. I'm gonna really point him out. Uh, Again, it's another John Robinson guy. And we see that most of John Robinson's guys are not here no more, right? So he was not a surprise at all. The remaining people on that list wasn't a surprise either. It almost like they were camp bodies, and you kind of knew, okay, you have to really, really show something to make this roster. And from the way Rand has built this roster, you could just probably use them as depth. But I mean, I'm fine with the cuts that we made, including the trade that we had with Malik, and we'll get into that in a minute. But the initial thoughts on the 53-man roster, you have the 53-man roster already set. I think you already kind of had it set probably week 3 of training. Well, week 2 or week 3 of training camp when you brought in Jamal Adams and Diggs and everybody, and even when you drafted Brownlee, you kind of knew that players like Caleb Farley had to come in and be healthy in camp in order for him to thrive. He had to have a big preseason, and I only think he played 2 snaps in preseason, if that, right? And again, a track record of being hurt. I think with even him, he needs to just heal his body, man, and just keep grinding, young man. Hey, we appreciate what you were able to do with us while you were with us. But again, I'm cool with the 53. Somebody said Chance Campbell, man. Shout out to Chance Campbell, man. He had a hell of a preseason, a hell of a training camp. Unfortunately, man, he got hurt, and I hate that for the young man because I was actually rooting for him. So, Chance, if you hear this, bro, hey, get well, heal up. I know it's a tough injury, but keep grinding. So for me, 53-man roster is a A+, man. I'm satisfied. Again, it is still being put together, but again, there's a lot of stuff that's coming. That's why I'm on my phone right now, just trying to get any breaking news that I see. So
yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we appreciate those updates, Jacques. And for
That's
those that are not watching this live on other platforms, just know, again, we're doing the show as updates are happening. So we don't have the full final, but we got about 51 of the players that's already set. So as updates happen, man, we'll do that. And to your point earlier about Thomas Aduke, the tight end, this guy, did you see that tackle he made on special teams, man?
Yes, I did.
He went from one end zone to the other, man. He kept going. Those type of plays will keep showing the roster, man. You know what I mean? And then Caleb Farley with the big hit that he had, when he knocked the guy's helmet off, I was like, that's the best play I've seen Caleb Farley ever had, man. I was like, man, this is my one last goal. I'm gonna do this thing. So Jacques, so speaking of the roster, man, as you are looking at updates, is this roster, and those in the comment section, shout out to everybody in the comment section. We got the poll question out there as well, man. You all put your answer in the chat. Is this the best roster or offseason? No, best roster. Is this the best roster that we've ever had going into the season?
The best ever overall Titans roster that's ever been formulated from any GM or anything?
Well, I'll say going into the season.
Yes, it is. For sure. Yes. I can't name a time, and even with the McNair and Steve McNair days and Eddie George days, that's how old we are when it comes to the Titans. Yes, in my opinion, this is the best offseason the Titans have ever had. And it's not an exaggeration. And I know people say, well, we had Julio, Andre Johnson. We have never had this many name players ever picked up, and we still are under the cap, okay? It is insane what Ran Carthon has been able to do and what he's been able to cook up in the short time that he's been here to bring in the premier receivers that this is the best receiving core that we've ever had. Anybody can challenge me on that. I know we had AJ, but that was AJ Brown. And I say receiver core when I say 3 receivers, right? DeAndre Hopkins, Calvin Ridley, and Tyler Boyd. That's a hell of a receiving core that you can have. Great running back duos. The defensive secondary has been revamped. This is one of the best secondaries I've ever seen the Titans have. Ever. I'm just going to be straight 100 with you. And then the trade that we just had with Ernest Jones?
Yep, Ernest Jones
Jr. from the Rams to get him for almost nothing is amazing. His stat line is amazing. And I can only imagine what Ran Carthon is trying to get that man a long-term deal. So in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, yes, this is the best offseason the Titans have really ever had since the inception of the Titans from 99 to now. What about you, Hawk?
So going into the offseason, man, I haven't ever seen us make this many moves, right, in the offseason. And you look at the players that we've added and the players that we've cut, this is absolutely the best offseason that we've had going into the season, for sure. Shout out to Ran Carthon. Shout out to the Titans. This is absolutely the best that we've coming out. Is this the best team we've ever had? That remains to be seen. Probably not. It's going to take time for it to gel. But going into the offseason, absolutely, I do think this is the best offseason we've ever had. So I'm going to divert real quick, Jacques. Shout out to Russ J in the comments, man. He's asking, can you guys give a total number of guys for each position? Let's do that. Let's do that. All right. So I'm going to go through each roster for what we see. And then, Jacques, what I'm going to do is, man, we're going to make it real quick. We're going to give a quick grade on each position based on who we have. All right? Okay. All right. Quarterback, Will Levis, Mason Rudolph. That's 2. I can't hear you if you're saying something. All right. I'm going to give the quarterback position. I'm going to give it for right now. I'm going to give it a B minus. Yeah, I can't hear you, Jacques. Running back position. We have Tony Pollard, Tajay Spears, and Julius Chestnut. That's 3 running backs on the roster. I'm going to give this a B. I have as well wide receivers. We have Calvin Ridley, DeAndre Hopkins, Tyler Boyd, Traylon Burks, Nick Westbrook-Akina, Jaquan Jackson, Kyle Phillips. That's 7. Now, Kieras hadn't been cut yet, so I got to say 8 for right now. I'm going to say with our wide receivers, I'm going to give an A. Still can't hear you. I'm going to give an A. Tight end, we got Josh Wiley, Chig Okonkwo, Nick Vannett, Thomas Adokie, and David Martin Robinson. So far, all 5 are still on the roster. I'm giving the tight end group a B. That's 5. Offensive line, we have J.C. Latham, Peter Skoronski, Lloyd Cushenberry, Dylan Radins, Nicholas Petit-Ferrer. You got Daniel Brunskill. You got Andrew Rupchich. And you got Leroy Watson the 4th. That's 8 and Jalen Duncan. That's 9 offensive linemen. Wow. I'm going to give the offensive line group, I'm going to go into the season a C. I don't know if you're saying anything, Jacques. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Sorry. All right. Okay. So, all right. On the defensive line. Okay. So that's how many players we have in each position. On the D line, we have Jeffrey Simmons, T'Vondre Sweat, Sebastian Joseph Day. We also have Keandre Colburn. So we only have 4 on the defensive line. The D line that I currently see, I'm giving a B+. Outside linebackers, we got Harold Landry, Arden Key, Jalen Harrell, Rashad Weaver, and Caleb Murphy. They made the team. Yep.
Yeah, you can hear me.
We have 5 outside linebackers.
Keep going, Hawk. I'm technical difficulty. Sorry, everybody. Keep going.
Of the 5 outside linebackers, I'm giving this a grade of a B. Inside linebackers, we got Kenneth Murray, Jack Gibbons, the rookie James Williams, Otis Reese, Luke Gifford, Cedric Gray's in IR. Right now, we have 5 inside linebackers as we speak right now. So I'm going to give our inside linebackers a grade of a C. Now, of course, we added the new linebacker, Ernest Jones, so that's going to really help it out as well. Corners, we got L'Jarius Sneed, we got Chidube Awuzie, we got Roger McCrary, Jarvis Brownlee, Trey Avery still on the roster, Eric Garrett still on the roster, and that's it. So that's 6 corners. So we have a lot of linebackers and only 6 corners. I'm going to give our corner group a B-. Last is our safeties. We got Quandre Diggs, Amani Hooker, Elijah Molden, who's hurt right now, but he's still on the roster, Jamal Adams, and that's it. We have 4 safeties.
Keep going, Hawk.
Yep. So of our safeties, man, I'm going to give our safety group a B. And then last, our special teams. Now, they have not made a decision on kicker yet. They still got Nick Folk and Braden Arvison on the roster. Okay, Garrett got cut. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you. Again, this is a live update. Nick Folk and Braden Arvison are still on the team. One of those guys is going to get cut. Ryan Stonehouse and Morgan Cox. So that's our special teams group. So, right now, that's where we are on our roster, on our 53-man roster. There's still some more players that need to be cut because the number I just counted was 58. So we still got a few more players that have to be cut. So if y'all think about it, we had 91 players. 91 players. You got to get it cut down to 53. So that's where we at there, man. Yep. So yep. So if there's any other updates, man, update us or whatever. But I think right now, man, I'm giving us a great grade right now of at least an A- based on roster overhaul. This is the most I've ever seen us doing the off season, Jacques. So, question for you, Jacques. Are you able to hear me? You still got, okay. No worries. No worries. All right. So those in the comment section, we got the poll question out there, by the way. How would you grade Ran Carthon's offseason as far as trades, as far as just the overall function of the team as we speak? How would you all grade that? The poll question's in the way. So I do see most of you are grading him an A. I'm going to actually agree. Ran Carthon, this is the most I've ever seen. When you look at our defense, we only have 2 starters coming back from last year, and that's Jeffrey Simmons and that's Amani Hooker. The other guys, Jack Gibbons was off and on. So I mean, you can have him, and then Harold Landry is the other guy that we had, Arden Key or whatever. So those guys were starters. So I'll give that. So we have 4 starters. But literally looking at the roster itself, you bring in Devondre Sweat off the draft. You got Kenneth Murray coming through from the Chargers. You got LeJerry Sneed, arguably the best cover corner from the Chiefs. You got Awuzie coming from Cincinnati as well. And again, you got Roger McCreary playing the nickel. You got Diggs, and you got Jamal Adams. You got 2 hard-hitting safeties. Our defense is a complete overhaul. So we talk a lot about the offense. Our defense is what has made the biggest difference in the offseason. When you look at our defense, when you look at what Denard Wilson is wanting, he is wanting aggressiveness, and that's what we have picked up. Ran is dealing. Ran is a guy I bet at home when he's doing grocery shopping. He does 3 for 25. Yep, 3 for 25. He makes deals, right? And not only that, he makes great deals. So looking at the players that we kept, there's not a player that we've cut on our defense that I'm sitting there like, man, we shouldn't have cut him. Not a one. So shout out to Ran Carthon. Shout out to the Tennessee Titans. You all feel the exact same way as you all have thought. 93% of you all feel the same way. What about you, Jacques, about Ran Carthon? How do you feel that he's done in the offseason?
He get an A plus. Ran Carthon, man, he has done his homework. You can tell he has a passion for this, and Amy did a great job at making this hire. And everything that he was able to do to bring in the players that he was able to bring in, the trades that he was able to make, the draft picks, and still have money left over, and you're not overpaying and breaking the bank for these particular players. Man, as we always say, he's cooking, man. Ran has been cooking since we've gotten him, and I know there was some scrutiny and people criticized him early. But again, man, hey, shout out to Ran, my brother, man. You keep doing what you're doing, the trades that you're doing. I trust you, right? We used to say in John, we trust. Well, actually in Ran, we really trust, man. I really trust that man. So any decisions, what direction that he wants to go, at this point, I'm not questioning. I understand what you're trying to do. I see the vision that you got going on. So shout out to Ran, man.
Absolutely.
I wish he was here when we wouldn't have traded AJ Brown, because I know definitely Ran would have tried to work that out. So, man, again, shout out to Ran Carthon, man, and the amazing job that he has done so far.
Yep. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So, Jacques, I do have a question for you, and those in the comment section as well, too, man. We're gonna push that question out there as well, too. So, out of the players that we've cut today and yesterday, are there any surprises for you? Do you have anyone that's like, we got that poll question out the way, that you're shocked or even disappointed in? Is there anyone that you feel that you're surprised that he was released?
Not really. Again, a lot of these guys, man, I kind of figured that they were going to be I do actually have one. That's Bryce Oliver. I'll say that. I kind of knew he was going to be cut, but I kind of was like, he's done enough to earn him a spot on this roster if he was going to keep 7. I know Kyle Phillips is hurt. But again, I think Bryce could have stepped in and get those most important reps. And I know they're going to try to bring him back on the practice squad, man, but I think he deserved a spot on his 53. So what about you, Hawk?
I tell you this, man, I actually agree about Bryce Oliver. I think with Bryce Oliver, the issue with him is just roster spot as far as the number of players that's in that spot. So for me, I'm going to say Hassan Haskins. Hassan Haskins was drafted, right? Now, this is a John Robinson draft, and you all notice how many players that John Robinson has drafted that is no longer with the team. We talking draft picks, first-round picks like Caleb Farley, cut. Malik Willis, traded. Hassan Haskins, cut. Like, it's crazy. So I'm going to say Hassan Haskins because Julius Chestnut, who's a good running back number 3, was undrafted and doesn't play a lot on special teams. Hassan Haskins does, and that's a really big specialty for him. That's his strength, his special teams. So now, cutting him, it's going to put maybe someone else in that spot. So I'm not saying Hassan Haskins is a better running back than Julius Chestnut, but I think he provides a different type of value. But I would think, by him getting cut, I'm not surprised. I'm not like, oh my God, he should be on the team. I'm not saying that. based on what we have. But I'd say Hassan Haskins would be my surprise cut if there's anybody that got cut today, for sure.
Wow. Some more breaking news. Wow. There's a lot going on today. Man, shout out to Jeff McLean, man. There's rumblings out there that James Bradbury in the talks, Eagles and Titans are having trade talks for James Bradbury. I don't know how much validity this is, but again, we know when they get to talking and rumors getting spread, things are being said. So Hawk, again, I'm telling you, I'm monitoring a lot of stuff that's happening right now. And this is, again, he's surprised he survived the Eagles cuts, but don't be surprised if we making another big splash with a trade. I mean, if we trade for him, man, I at this point, at this point, Ran, you a god, man. What's going on? Yes, yeah,
man.
Yeah. So again,
and have we have not experienced this. You know what I'm saying? Because with Ran, we look at the fact that he's still making deals here. Like he's still on the phone. He's doing he's like, screw a rebuild. We're trying to win now. We're trying to win right now. Do you all feel that in the comment section?
Right.
He's like, I'm trying to do this right now.
Yep.
We have an opportunity to rehaul and redo this whole team. Yep. He probably looked at the roster previously like, man, this is a lot of crap right here. I'm about to cut this whole thing. I'm about to do me. So, hey, keep dealing, Ran. Cook Ran. Yep. Cook Ran. Y'all heard it here first. We started to cook Ran. Cook Ran. Cook. Cook. Cook.
We did.
Cook.
So yeah, that's a little bit of breaking news. Like I said, I don't know how much weight it holds, but there's rumors starting to make its waves, man. So just keep your eyes to the streets and ears to the streets as well, man. And
yes, sir.
Keep your eyes on the streets and your ears.
Yes, sir. Yes,
so
sir.
We're gonna get to the next segment, man, about this Malik Willis trade, man.
Yes, sir.
And how do you feel about it? What's your thoughts about the Malik Willis trade?
So this is what I look at, man. And, of course, I was rooting for him because I saw the progress. It was a lot of people that, you had some that didn't see it. To me, it was obvious he was getting better. You clearly can see he was getting coached. Of course, he was improving. You spent a third-round pick on Malik Willis, right? A third round. That's a hell of an investment, right? What I feel about is this. The quarterback 3 situation is what hurt Malik Willis, okay? Because even if he made this team, it would count against the 53. And if he made it as far as a practice squad quarterback, he was going to get picked up. There's a lot of people that felt that he wasn't going to get picked up. Like I said, he's going to get picked up. And what happened? Green Bay called, traded him immediately, right? You can see the talent out of Malik Willis, right? He has a lot to work on, but he has improved. So I look at it like this. I hate to see him go because he has a different dynamic. But from a business standpoint, Mason Rudolph, he played very well in the preseason. He did well enough to play quarterback too. That was the challenge. The battle was between Rudolph and Willis. And so since it was so close, Mason Rudolph has won games. He's won 7 NFL games in his career. That helps him a lot as a veteran, right? So I think the quarterback 3 scenario hurt Malik Willis. I would like to keep our draft picks, and things like that because when you look at our quarterback position, it's still an open field. I mean, Will Levis is our starter for sure. What I'm saying is that, with Malik Willis, I understand. I really do. I wish we could have got more, but we got something. So I would give this a B. I would give it a B. We did get a 7th round pick. The way that Ran is drafting, that 7th round pick will probably make the team that we draft next year. So that's how I feel about it. What about you, Jacques?
Again, I'm gonna give my grade first. I'm gonna give it a B. What has happened since Callahan has gotten here, he's been able to develop his talent, right? And when we look at the quarterback position, Malik got dealt a bad hand from the beginning anyway. I think when we talked about that draft, and I think that was the draft A.J. Brown got traded. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I think I was in New Orleans when that happened.
That's how he got here.
Yep. And so with that being said, we were excited about the pick, but at the same time, I'm like, why would we pick a quarterback at 3? If I'm going to pick a quarterback, it's going to be like Will Levis, number 2 or number 1, because at least I'm going to get some type of value, get that transition period going. And at the time, we had Ryan Tannehill. So we needed a transition period to go anyway. We could have used that draft pick, that 3rd-round draft pick on something else, right? It could have been something else from a receiver. We needed a couple of things at that time. But now looking at John Robinson's track record, I wouldn't trust him to make that 3rd-round pick anyway, right? So, again, it's a win-win for both parties. One, from a perspective of Will Levis gets to go and actually be a quarterback two somewhere else, right? Because that's what he was wanted to be, a backup. When they decided to veto the third quarterback option for teams, I kind of, well, let me reel that back. I knew when we signed Mason Rudolph, Malik Willis was gone. Okay? He was gone. I knew he was gone. But it really solidified it when it came down to the veto of the third quarterback option on the roster, right? You can carry a 53-man and an extra quarterback, and he counts to, And so I kind of knew there. But for him to be dealt to Green Bay like he was, and we still got something out of it, and then he still gets something out of it to be with the quarterback's coach over there, who used to be our offensive coordinator. What's his name? And to play behind Jordan Love, he's going to continue to learn. He just needs to sit there, learn the quarterback position, learn the system, and then maybe one day we know how Green Bay is. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but Green Bay has a track record of a feeder program when it comes to quarterbacks. We've seen it with Brett Favre. We've seen it with Aaron Rodgers. Now Jordan Love. Now you got Malik Willis there. And I think, I don't know, I got to go back. And somebody had tweeted this. They said Green Bay at one point in time was looking at Malik Willis in that draft. So I don't know how much Matt LaFleur is like, hey, we really like Malik. We really like him. So evidently they see something in him to say, hey, we'll trade you for him. Maybe I can work with them. I see more improvement. Now that the thing with them, they don't have to do as much work as we had to do, right? We had to do a lot of work to get them up to speed, to teach them how to play quarterback, to teach them how to take a snap under the center, to read fences, to make the right decisions. Now, only thing Matt LaFleur has to do is just polish that up and just make it to where it's a serviceable quarterback, and they might get some trade value out of it, or it might be their backup quarterback for years on years on years on years until he wants to be a starter. So they both parties win at this play. And shout out to Ran for doing it, because I kind of knew Ran is the type of guy, man, where he's going to put you in the best situation to be successful for your career. He tried that with Derrick Henry last year when we tried to trade Derrick, and we couldn't trade Derrick. And Amy vetoed that trade, but he was going to send Derrick to the Ravens anyway. We were going to get something from it, but he wants to make sure, hey, I'm going to get you a Super Bowl, and he goes to a playoff team. And we got to see him week 3. I think we do got to see Green Bay. We got to see the Packers week 3. So, again, shout out to Malik, man. I'm kind of glad he's gone, because the conversations can kind of die down now. I do have fatigue talking about this particular subject, but I just know, bro, I'm rooting for you. Hey, be successful with the Packers, man, and do your thing. So that's my thoughts on it, Hawk.
Cool, man. Cool. Okay.
Oh, one more thing. One more thing. We also should be excited because Brian Callahan was able to develop him into a quarterback. That should be exciting, because now we got Will Levis, who he's going to do the same thing too. So we hopefully that feeds into that. He made that into that. Imagine what he can do with him. So
that's right. And we clearly can see where these players are being trained and coached, man. Coached up very well for sure. So Jacques, question for you, man. So speaking of, a shout out to Dupree class as well too, man. We got that question out there as well, man, about the former Los Angeles Ram linebacker, Ernest Jones, traded today, inside linebacker. We traded him for a 2025, fifth round pick? No, 2026 fifth round pick, right? Mm-hmm. Yep. A starting linebacker who had 145 tackles last year and 4.5 sacks last year on a pretty decent defense. What do you think? Do you think this is a major impact? How do you feel about it overall, man?
So what did I tell you? What did I text you earlier?
We getting a linebacker.
What did I text you earlier?
And then you said we're gonna get him, and you said that, Jacques. You did.
I a couple of days ago when I seen that he was up for trade, I was like, man, with all the injuries that we have at the linebacker position right now, we need to find somebody quick. Like, somebody needs to come in and start right away. Chance is down. The draft pick that we what's his name from North Carolina, he's hurt.
Yes,
Cedric Gray has a nerve issue. I think it's in his shoulder. That particular injury can linger. That can be a lingering injury. Jack Gibbons, in my opinion, he's not. Jack Gibbons is a good second team, third team, but we need an impact player right away to come in. And for the Rams to say, hey, Ernest, we don't want you no more. That tells me it's contractual, right? And so when I'm looking at this trade, I'm like, oh my God, 145 tackles, 4.5 sacks last year. He fits in Denard's defense. Okay. This is a scheme fit if I ain't seen before. We know he likes to blitz his linebackers and his safeties. And this young man is a blitzing linebacker if I ain't seen it. He's a run stopping linebacker too. So with him And Murray right there, our linebacker core has bolstered even more. Again, shout out to Ran. And what he got for him is even more mind-boggling. We even did, I think we got a 6th-round pick for him. We got a 6th-round pick also. They got a 5th round. We got a 6th-round pick in Ernest. How is he doing this? How is he doing this? How is Rand doing this? Like he needs to teach a master class on dealing and trading. Shout out to you, Hawk, because you said something about some coupons. I'm like, he must be a couponer because this joker is cold.
Yes, he is.
Yes, it's a major impact. He starts day one right now. Just needs to get in there and learn the terminology. It's a wrap. Our defense has the potential once it clicks to be a top 5 defense. Okay,
ooh, you cooking, Sharp.
I'm not just saying it because I'm a home. I'm not saying it. We know we criticize when we need to. But this has the potential to be a top 5 defense. From the top to the middle to the bottom. And what I mean, in the trenches, the linebackers in the secondary. This is a major impact. Major impact.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Am I pausing a little bit? Can you hear me? Okay, cool. Okay. I can't hear you, Jacques. All right. So, finally, we have the roster. It is set. We have the official 53-man roster. 53. We are here. 53-man roster as we speak. So, I am going to first go over all the players that was released or waived, okay? We have our 53-man roster. All right. First, these are the players that have been cut. These are veterans. The defensive tackle, Abdullah Anderson. Offensive tackle, Jerron Christian.
Yeah.
Center, veteran center who's been here a few years, Corey Levin. The former first-round pick, linebacker Shane Ray. He's been released. Trey Avery has been released. Wow, I know some of you had said that. He got cut. Defensive lineman Quentin Bohanna, released. Outside linebacker Khalid Duke. Safety Kenton Ellis. Of course, our former first-round pick, Caleb Farley. And yes, our undrafted guy that played a lot last year, Eric Guerra. Our draft pick 2 years ago, Hassan Haskins, the running back. Defensive lineman Isaiah Eaton. Wide receiver from Georgia last year, undrafted, Kearis Jackson. The Nashville-born and raised Tennessee, a native safety, Matthew Jackson. Cornerback Gabe Judy Lally. Cornerback Anthony Kendall. A lot of DBs. The veteran Mason Kinsey, who's been here for a while. Jacques, your kicker, Braden Narveson, was cut. Wide receiver Bryce Oliver was cut. Cole Spencer cut. Leroy Watson cut. Several offensive linemen cut. These players were waived and they're injured. Golly, Kyle Phillips is on here, waived but injured. So he's off the team. And Lachavius Simmons, the offensive tackle, who looked good early, but in the preseason games, he didn't do it. Players that got that made the team but is on injured reserve is Chance Campbell, of course, the superstar in the preseason. And then the guy that could have started is defensive end T.K. McClendon. Our rookie from last year, Colton Dowell, he's on the PUP list, so he's still on the. So those guys have been cut. There's not a name on there that I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe we cut him. I can't believe it. So I'm gonna go over the roster. Let's talk, y'all. Let's talk. All right, Jacques. Let's
yes, sir.
All right. Quarterback, Will Levis, Mason Rudolph. You got 2 quarterbacks. Yes, Trey Avery is gone. Running back, Tony Pollard, Tajay Spears, Julius Chestnut. That's 3 running backs.
Okay.
Wide receiver, Calvin Ridley, DeAndre Hopkins, Tyler Boyd, Traylon Burks, Nicholas Westbrook-Akina, the rookie, Jaquan Jackson.
Okay.
And that's 6 receivers. That's it.
6. Yeah. Wait till you see the tight ends. Keep going.
Yep. Tight end, Josh Wiley, Chigo Kwanku, Nick Vanette, Thomas Adokie, and David Martin Robinson. 5 tight ends. 5. David Martin Robinson made the team, man. And Thomas Adokie, again, those are great. All right. So that's our skill position. Offensive line. We got J.C. Latham, Peter Skoronski, Lloyd Cushenberry, Dylan Radens, Nicholas Petit-Ferrer. John Okwoku, Jalen Duncan, Daniel Brunskill, and that's 8. We have 8 offensive linemen. 8. All right. That's our offense. Okay. All right, y'all in the comment section. Hey, man, keep putting comments in the comment section on offense. Is there anyone that you feel is a surprise cut, or is a guy that made the team that you're surprised with? All right, let's look at the defense, Jock. Mm-hmm. Defensive line. Jeffrey Simmons, Savondre Sweat, Sebastian Joseph Day. Those are your starters. Keandre Colbin, just 4, because Abdullah Anderson got cut. We have 4 defensive linemen. 4. Mm-hmm. Outside linebackers. Harold Landry, Arden Key, your starters. You got the rookie Jalen Harrell. Rashad Weaver didn't make the team. Caleb Murphy made the team.
Good job. Okay, Caleb.
Yep, made the team. All right. Inside linebackers. Of course, we just added Ernest Jones. You got Kenneth Murray. And I think Ernest Jones and Kenneth Murray are going to be your starting inside linebackers.
Yes, sir.
You got Jack Gibbons. You got the rookie James Williams, who converted from safety to linebacker. Mm-hmm. Otis Reese made the team. Luke Gifford made the team.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's 6 linebackers.
Wait till you see the DBs.
All right.
Wait till you see the corners.
L'Jarius Sneed, Chidobe Awuzie, Roger McCrary. Those are your 3 starters. Jarvis Brownlee, Robert Javier. That's 5 corners. 5. Wow. That's not a lot of corners.
It's not a lot.
So they're going to try to bring somebody in, man. They will. 5 corners. All right. So Gray from North Carolina, someone asked, he's injured, but he made the team.
He has a nerve injury in his shoulder. So yes.
Yep. All right. Look at how many safeties made the team. Now they have not been listed as cut yet, right?
Okay. Right.
Quandre Diggs and Amani Hooker and Elijah Molden and Jamal Adams. Okay, cool. Elijah Molden made the team. Mike Brown is still on the team, and so is Shaheem Carter. They're on the team.
Really?
Yes, they have not been cut yet. Nope. No updates on it yet.
Huh.
Yep.
So I'm wondering when you went down the list, and of course we got Nick Folk as our kicker and Stonehouse as our punter.
Yep. And Morgan Cox is our holder.
Okay. So when I'm hearing 4 safeties, that's a lot of safeties, dog. That's a lot of safeties. That is a lot of safeties. That's interesting because I wonder scheme wise are they going to use him in that dime package to kind of interchange him out, right? Have my safety bunt down as a rover, or turn around and just have you in there as an extra body and just have you rush the passer. I don't know. Somebody asked about Smalls, the running back, I guess from UT.
Yep,
he got cut, but I'm hearing they want to bring him back on the practice squad. So, and remember, ladies and gentlemen, we have the waiver. We have the waiver wire coming up too. So there's a lot of players that did get cut that are talented that we can bring on the waiver wire. And the waiver wire follows the draft order. So we're number 7 on the waiver wire. So just keep that in mind. Again, we don't know. And it's still certain things that can unfold. So just want to throw that tidbit out there. And yeah, Molden can be now Molden did get hurt. Hold on.
He had a concussion.
He
had a concussion.
Yeah, he did get a concussion. So that's something that I don't like 4 corners because yeah, I like to have a little bit more room when it comes to the corner, but I know you have some interchangeable parts there. But hey, we'll see if the Bradbury thing does come to fruition.
Yep.
I don't know. It'll be nice. It'll be nice if it does.
And the good thing about James Bradbury, over the past few years, he has fallen off. There's no question about that. But the good thing about Bradbury, that what he can do here for us is, because we're going to be a heavy blitzing team, Bradbury is great in press coverage up front. His issue is going deep, right? Because he bites for pump fakes all the time. That's his problem. So, and we're not asking him to be CB1, right? We're not telling him, hey, guy, you are our top corner. We're not asking him to guard the top receivers. And he probably won't start. So he'll be out there, but we're not asking him to be a prime corner out here. So, we could probably get Bradbury for a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
The Eagles, he's still on contract with the Eagles. So we could probably sign him for $1 million, $2 million while he's getting paid by the Eagles. So it's not really a lot of dust on our shoulders to get James Bradbury. So Yep.
Hyphy also asked, what about Hassan Reddick? Hey, if we have a fit for him, I would like to bring him in. I mean, the way Ran is willing and dealing, man, anything is possible. I'm just gonna look at it this way. Anything is possible when he is there. And great question. Who asked that question? Is that Mario?
Talking about Machito?
Machito's son? Okay. Cheeto, that's a great question. That is a great question.
He should be.
He
Owuze
should be ready.
back.
He should be ready. He should be ready. We
Yep.
good at are we good at edge rusher, Hawk? You think we think we solidified the edge rusher with Harold and Key?
No,
and,
I don't think we're like, oh, we're just great. No, I don't.
Right.
I think we're okay. And I think we have something to work with. And I'm hoping Harold Landry will get back into his old form. I think Arden Key still has a lot to prove.
Right.
And in certain packages, you got to put Jalen Harold on the field.
Yep.
So, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So, it's to me, it's a remains to be seen type of deal. I think a sure thing on our defense, if anything, is three things, I think. Maybe four things I'm going to say, Jacques. I don't know how you feel about this.
Mm-hmm.
I think the inside run defense is going to be amazing. When you got Jeffrey Simmons and Devondre Sweat in the middle, you ain't going to run on us. That's not going to happen. It ain't happening.
Right.
You got L'Jarius Sneed on the corner. You're not going to really throw it on him too much. He's going to cover ground very well. And our safeties are extremely aggressive. So I think, if anything, as far as us hitting and tackling and making plays up front will happen. The concern is, okay, if the blitz is picked up and we're going deep, if teams are going deep on us or they're even in the deep middle, I think that's where our challenge can be. So hopefully our pass rushers can get up the field with Jeffrey Simmons and Devondre Sweat taking on, 4 or 5 different linemen at just with 2 guys. Hopefully they'll be, in a one-on-one situation. But, I think, it remains to be seen for me. We'll see.
Nah, I agree, man. Again, like you said, and somebody said it. I just like that comment. They said, we still have a long way to go. And yes, we do. We look good on paper, but can we put it together? That's my biggest thing. We look damn good on paper. Can we get this thing where it's a product that I can sell, right? Can I sell this product? I can sell it on paper, but can I really sell it? Like sell it. So, man, most definitely. Watchers Levis is actually, yeah. I mean, we've definitely improved. When somebody said we're going to win the Super Bowl,
I hope, but no, I don't see that. We're better, and I'm actually more optimistic than I had been maybe a few weeks ago. Right. I'm more optimistic on what we can do. So we'll see.
This is actually a great question. I hear from HW. He said we're going. Oh no, not the win. Hold on. What did I? Well, there you go, Shante Blackwell. Hold on. All right. They say Dante. My bad. Burks or Westbrook. If I had to put a 4th receiver on the field, Burks or Westbrook.
Westbrook.
I agree. Burks has been lazy, in my opinion. He's been even just looking at him. He's just lazy routes. Burks has to really earn it, man. And I think right now, Mr. Reliable, if I needed to play, Westbrook provides that reliability to say, hey, I need you to go out and make a play, Westbrook. He could convert a 3rd and 15 if he could, right? So for me, give me Westbrook. I sound like for you, same thing, Hawk.
Yep. Until Burks proves himself.
Right.
Westbrook Akina's already proven himself to what he can do. He's not going to do more, better, or anything. He is who he is. Burks, of course, has the bigger upside. He's a 1st-round pick, right? Yes. So more for him is just more of just can he prove himself going into the season? I'm trusting Westbrook Akine at least right now.
Right.
I think Taylor Burks is a better total receiver, but going into the season, I'm going Westbrook Akine.
I prefer Burks, but like you said, reliability, deep ball. Give me Burks for the deep ball. I'll take Burks any day if he can do what he's doing. I know he's been injured. Again, I would like to see more effort, man. I think that when it comes to ball, man, I like effort. And if I just want you to go almost 100% on what you can do. Let me see. Here we go. We got another question. Y'all bringing them in, man. Keep bringing these questions, man. Let's do what you got to do.
Yes, sir.
Will the AFC South be the best division in football? Not yet, but it's trending. It is trending. It is trending to be the best division. I'll give it about another 2, maybe 3 years, and even probably sooner. But it is trending to be one of the most watched conferences in the NFL. So I would say not right now, but give it a couple of more years. Yes, it will be, because you still got young quarterbacks, man. You got 4 young quarterbacks in this division that are finna start taking off. Stroud has already taken off. Levis should off this year. We hope he takes off. AR, we don't know what we have in him, but he's a nice little name, and we still got Trevor Lawrence. So, I mean, what you think, Hawk?
No, it's not. It's not the best division in football. No, I do think the one thing the AFC South does, I think there's more parity in this division than maybe any division in football. I think there's a lot of parity in this, where I think the Texans are by far the best team going into the season. I don't know what it's going to be, how it finishes, because you got year 2 now for CJ Stroud. So tapes have been watched, and they're going to make those adjustments. But I do think outside of that, all other 3 teams, who knows who's going to finish second? Who knows? I think there's a lot of parity. I don't think there's a whole big difference of a gap between the talents of in the division. So no, I do not think we're the best division. No, there's other divisions I feel is better, but it's going to be interesting because it's a young division. It's a division of a bunch of bad teams over the last 5 years who are finally starting to pick it up based on their draft picks.
Right. Exactly. Yep. No, Titans all day. I feel you, bro. T said T-Lob low. T-Lob low. You know how I feel about Trevor Lawrence, man. You know how I feel about him. Let's see. If we see Henry in the playoffs, man, that means we overachieved this year. We
overachieved. Facts. We overachieved. Do you all know how bad the folks have the Titans finishing this year, y'all? Do you know how bad they have? Many of them in Vegas have us finishing with the 4th worst record in the league. Mm-hmm. There are folks that think Will Levis is the worst quarterback in the NFL, starting quarterback. Like, they think the Titans suck. They think we suck. So for me, I think that's a good thing. All you can do now is just do better than what people think. And as a coach, I would be like, this is great for me because my expectation isn't to get them to the playoffs. My expectation is to do better than we did last year, and we keep building from that. So please don't think that they have us out here like, oh, we're going to be – no, they have us as terrible. They have us going, I think, only winning like 5 games this year.
Right.
So, yeah. So
the over-under is 5. The under is 5. What's the over? Do we know?
No, I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah, I seen that they do got us drafting top 5 because they got us taking Shedeur Sanders. I've seen mock drafts with him, a defensive tackle from UT or DN from UT. I've seen a couple of things, man.
Yep.
Yeah, they had us at 4.5 wins, man. That's I like flying under the radar. Let's just keep it like that. Let's keep the expectations tempered because that way we can be a surprise. My thing is with the Titans, once we get on a consistent path, we tend to veer off that path when we're being consistent. So I like this. I had a partner, man. He's a Steelers fan, and shout out to Ant, man. He was like, man, I didn't know the Titans was this loaded, man. I said, I know. I said, keep it on the low, though. We're loaded. Yes, we are loaded. We have a loaded team. But until then, just keep it on the low. Let us, man, just fly under the radar. And then when it's time to surprise some teams, boom.
Yep.
I think our toughest opponent in the division right now is the Texans. I will say that. They're going to be the ones that we can kind of go back and forth. But I feel like now defensively, we can keep up with Stroud and them. We definitely can keep up with them now.
Yep. So those in the comment section, y'all, tell us what you all think about our 53-man roster. We went over it earlier. I think some of the biggest cuts that you all might not, if you're not aware of some of the cuts, of course, Malik Willis was traded yesterday, so he's no longer on the team. I think some of the big cuts that you might know of is Corey Levin, who's been here for a few years. Shane Ray, the former first-round pick with the Broncos several years ago, who tried to make the team. Trey Avery is gone. Caleb Farley, the former first-round pick, he's gone. Eric Garrett, who played a lot last year. Hassan Haskins, the running back, he's gone. Kieris Jackson, who was our starting kickoff and punt returner last year, he's gone. Mason Kinsey, the guy that's been here for several years, he's gone. The kicker, Narveson, that we brought in, he got cut. Bryce Oliver, who's been picking it up all preseason, he was cut. And Jabari Small, the running back, he was cut. Kyle Phillips was cut too. So, those are the guys. Is there anyone that I just named that you all feel that we shouldn't have cut? I want to know that because I don't. I think the folks that we let go, I'm fine with it. I'm good with it.
Yeah, I think that's majority, man. I'm okay with it as well. And some of these folks you can bring back on the practice squad too. So just remember that. Facts. We do have that option. RCM 127 says offense is going to get challenged right out the gate. Bears improved on defense on D, and then the Jets and Packers back to back before the Monday night rematch against Miami. That is a hell of a schedule, man. And I had to go back when we did our schedule show on Bleacher Report, man. I know I kind of over-exaggerated mine. I think yours was a little bit more practical, but I had to go back and refocus my focus on and look at the schedule and look how stacked these teams are when coming out the gate. You're 100% correct, RCM 127. Shout out to you, man, because we're going to be tested early, man. And I wish it wasn't this early, but this is a good test, man. So definitely. Predictions for the practice squad team. Who you think, Hawk? Who you think they're gonna bring back? I can see Kiersey. I can see Jackson.
From a quarterback standpoint, they'll bring somebody in here. They'll bring a quarterback in on the practice squad. I think I think they will bring Kearis Jackson back. I also think they'll bring Bryce Oliver back. I think Jabari Small will make it on that team.
Yep, Small.
Yep. You might have a corner too. You might probably bring Garrett back, the corner.
Or Trey Avery.
Or Trey Avery, yep. They'll probably bring him back. Trey Avery hangs around. And I think of a D lineman, they'll probably bring Abdullah Anderson back or whatever. At least that's what I'm thinking on the practice squad. So some of them guys, several of them guys will be back for sure.
I can definitely see that.
Yep. Yeah. What about you, Jacques? Anybody else extra? Or?
No, that was my Bryce, Jackson, Smalls for sure. Again, for some reason, Trey Avery provides that familiarity when it comes to knowing the defense. So you can kind of plug them and play them if something goes down or something happens. And I'm into, and even with Shane Ray, man, I think you should bring Shane Ray back on the practice squad too, in my opinion, because he provides that value also. So yeah, I was rooting for Shane. I kind of knew Shane. It's just a crowd. It's just a crowded room, man. Yep. It's crowded. You want to get younger. It was good preseason for him, but I just didn't see him making this squad, man. This is something that we haven't had in a while, man. It's just a competitive 75, a competitive 53-man roster where you have to make tough decisions. John Robinson preached this crap. Mike Vrabel preached this crap where they want the most competitive 75 and the most competitive 53. But Ran walks it and talks it. That's what Ran does. He walks it like he talks it. Like, no pun intended. Shout out to the Migos. He literally had a competitive roster where it's like, man, it sucks, man. Yep. When I have to say it sucks that he's cut or he's cut, you did your job, man. So shout out to Ran, man, because this wouldn't be possible without him.
Let me tell you what's amazing, y'all. And I don't know if y'all realize this. Every single draft pick that he had this year made the team. That is rare. That does not happen all the time, right? All 7 picks that he had in this draft was made this football team. All of them. And normally your 6th and 7th round, we had 2 7th round picks. They both made the team. So I think that's amazing when you look at it, right? Then you have to add free agents or, guys you just pick up off the street like David Martin Robinson, Thomas Adoke. These guys are just, found on the street and they're on the football team. They made the top 53. You got a 7th round pick and Jalen Harrell's he's going to play. He's going to get some playing time. You got Jarvis Brownlee, a 4th round pick. He's going to play. He's going to be on the field. You got Tavondre Sweat, who's going to start at nose tackle. You got a starting left tackle in J.C. Latham. Man, that's amazing. That's not normal, bro. That's not normal GMing, man. So, if we feel like a GM is not doing his job, whatever, we will say that. If we feel that they are, we're going to highlight that too. I'd say in the media at times, there's a lot of negativity on things and players and stuff like that. Hey, man, look, you're doing a damn good job. We're going to tell you because it's not easy. So, shout out to Brian Callahan, shout out to Ran Carthon and getting this roster set. It remains to be seen how well we do. But we're a complete different football team than we've been in years. So shout out to the leadership with the Titans.
Hey, Blackwell, man, you spitting, bro. Everything we know about the Titans, forget it. No, you're 100% correct. This is a new era, new time, just different, man, and it feels different. And I think he's just trying to bring that energy back, and he's done a good job, man. So shout out to Ran, like you said, shout out to Callahan, shout out to the leadership, shout out to Amy, man, because if it wasn't for Amy, none of this would have took place. She made the right decision at the right time to get rid of that old regime and bring in a new regime, and she did a damn good job. So they get a bravo from me. Hulk, take us out, bro. And
all right,
let's get to the season, dog.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, listen, y'all. Look, we appreciate everybody joining in on the show today, man. Hey, a lot of movement going on today. We finally did get the final 53 while we were on this video. So hopefully you all were able to catch on as well. Shout out to everybody again that's in the chat. Follow us on Bleacher Report, man. I'm at Lorenzo_the Hawk. Jacques is at Jacques Merrill. Follow us on Bleacher Report. We're everywhere, y'all. We ain't just on Bleacher Report. We're everywhere. You can check us out on YouTube at Tennessee Titans Weekly. You can check us out on Instagram at Tennessee Titans Weekly. We're on Twitter at Titans Weekly 24/7. We're at Tennessee Titans Weekly on Apple. We're on Tennessee Titans Weekly on Spotify. We're out there, y'all. Check us out. We give you content. We've been doing this for years. We do everything, man. Let's get it, man, Jacques. Shout out to
Yes.
Bleacher Report, by the way.
Yes, sir.
For
Again,
sure.
I say this every show, man. Thank you, Bleach Report, for giving us this opportunity. Thank y'all for participating, man. Great questions, great opinions, man. Good, bad, and different. It don't matter. We appreciate y'all, man, because if it wasn't for y'all watching the show, we wouldn't be here. And again, shout out to the Titans, shout out to Amy, shout out to Ran, shout out to the whole leadership over there, man, doing their thing. Hey, let's get to the season. We got, I think, about 2 weeks. I say we got to get them to them Chicago Bears. And hey, let's keep doing it. Tighten up and go ahead and take us away, Hawk.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, we hope you all have a great rest of your day, great rest of your week, great weekend. I know a lot of college football is about to go down. Hey, around here, we tighten up, man. So, hey, to you and yours, facts.
No paper.